Hello, welcome. So you want to know how to make a slider, and there's a slider over here, and I'm going to show you how to make it in this video. Cool, let's get into it. Let's go to the back end. So I just logged in over here, so I'll click over there to get to the dashboard, and then we're going to need to install a plugin. It's already installed by me, but you'll have to install it. It's called Smart Slider 3. So just go to add plugin, and into the search bar type in Smart Slider 3 and install it and activate it. Okay, once you've done that, you'll see it pop up on the left. You can click on that to open up more of the settings. Okay, so these are the slides that I've created already, but you're gonna click on new project. It's actually gonna prompt you with a tutorial first and say, hey, do you wanna watch this video so that you can learn some stuff? You can do that if you like, or you can just skip it and then click on new project when you're done with that, and then you're going to click on start with the template, because this one that I made was made of the template. You can definitely get pretty custom if you create your own project, but of course it's not going to be as fast and simple. So I'll click on start with the template, and then I have no internet. Let's reload this and click new project again. This is what you should see. Okay, explore the templates. There's many free templates, but the one that I'm gonna use today is called free full width. So I'm gonna hover over that and then click on import. That's gonna load for a second, and then it's gonna open up and show us the slides. So here we can see the slides, and we can edit the slide by clicking edit. And then let me just move this out of the way. So as you drag your cursor around, you'll see different things that you can interact with. I'll start with this section here by clicking on it, and then it opens up the settings for that element in this block here. So let me just change the text out. Let's delete that and make it match this text, the text of the first slide, which is more coffee. You can obviously put in any text that you want. I'm going to use more coffee. You can change the font in the style menu. It doesn't have to be the same font. You can even change the size if you want to. It doesn't have to be the same, but I'm going to make it exactly the same. And you can even add in animation if you are, okay with going to a pro version. Okay, so it says more coffee now. What else needs to happen? So I'm gonna remove the short story section. So I'll right click and then click delete. Okay, awesome, that's gone. And then for the read more button, it doesn't say read more, it says get directions. So I'll click on that and then change this to say get directions. Cool, that's super cool. We're basically done now. All I need to do is change the background. So I'll click on slide, and then I can see it says slide background there. So I'll click on plus and then use this background, whatever background you want. And if you don't see anything there, it just means that you'll need to load some images, which is pretty straightforward. All you need to click is upload, and you can upload whatever you want to be your background. So now we can't really read the words as well because of this bright background, so we're going to make it a bit darker by adding an overlay. So I'm going to scroll down here, and then I can see there's an overlay option, so I'll click that on, and then I'm going to select the color for the overlay. So I'll click here on that block there, and I'm going to make it black, and there's no change here. Why not? Well, it's because the opacity is turned down, so this bar here is the opacity bar. So I'm just going to turn that up a bit, and I think that's much better. This is of course really clear, but that takes away our image. So let's make it about there. Yeah, it's not too bad. Cool. I'll just click away, close that, and this is about it ready. There's plenty more settings that you can mess around with over here. I'm not gonna mess around with all of them. I click save. Cool. Now I'm gonna go back one slide. And that's it for that first slide that I edited. You can now go ahead and edit the second two. I'm not going to. Scroll down. So this is another important section. Scroll down and then go to size, and then where it says force full width, we want to toggle that on because this is taking up the full width of the screen. And if you want yours to take up the full width of the screen, then you should toggle that on. In fact, let me put that on the website without that toggled on, just so that you can see how it looks. So I'm not going to toggle that on, and I've already edited the slide. So another thing that I want to do before adding it to the website is name this particular project. So it still has the template name there, free full width, and you'll see that I made it a couple times now. I'll just click on, I need to be inside of it, so click inside, go to general to change the name, new slider, there we go, and we click save. Cool. So now I'll go to the page that I want to add the slide on, which is the home page. I'll click edit with Elementor. From my understanding, that you don't need to be using Elementor. Of course, I've not tried it with another builder though, so it might not work without Elementor. But yeah, let me know how far you get with that. Okay, so this was a test that I was doing earlier. Don't let that distract you. What are we doing? We're adding the slider that we made to the website. There's already a slider on the website, but I'm gonna add a new one to show you how it gets added. So this is the one that we have. Let's search in our widget column here for smart slider. And we know that this is the slider that we want to drag on, but we need a section for it. It doesn't have to have its own section, but I want it to have its own section. What I'm meaning is you could just drag it in over here as a small slider or like somewhere else, but I want it to have its own section, so I'm going to click plus there, and the plus again, flexbox, the downward flexbox. Now that it has a section there, I'm going to go to plus and search smart slider again, drag it in there. Now it's going to ask me which slider, because I made multiple sliders. So that's the one that I named, so I'll click on that and click insert. And now you can see that it's not taking up the full width of the screen. Now that might be what you want. That's why I'm showing you this way. So I'll click publish. You can't really edit much as it is here, only like the padding and stuff in the advanced menu and the alignment. Yeah, so after you click publish, let's see what it looks like on the website. I'll refresh this. And yeah, I can see it's a little baby slider relative to this one. But again, if you want this to be edited a bit better, or full width rather, and then all you need to do is go back to smart slider, dashboard, edit in the project, and go to size, and then click force full width there. There we go. And if you want to change the height and width, you can mess with it there. So I'll change it to 1000 for instance, and I'll click save, and I activated full width. So let's refresh it here. Cool. Now we can see that it takes up the whole, a lot more height, and it's the full width. It takes up the whole screen width-wise. Cool, that's pretty much it. If you want to add a call to action to this, like a link to this button, all you need to do is go back to smart slider, go to the slide, and then click on here, and then scroll down to link and add the link, so that when someone clicks that button, it actually does something. Again, I want to emphasize there's plenty of settings here that you can mess around with, like the typography. So please do that. It's gonna make your slider more custom, more unique to you. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you wanna get more of these kind of videos, and that's it. I'll see you around. Bye.